Hi guys, hope everybody's doing fantastic. I've done a couple of toolbox mini tours and showed a few tools, and a few people have said it's quite interesting. So obviously everyone has different things in their boxes. So I'll show you a few more drawers in the toolbox because a few of you said you like looking in my drawers. So if that's what you like, that's what you're into. So I'll show you a few things, and obviously you can might see something slightly different than what you have in your drawer if you've got a toolbox. So this is my sort of pipe wrench drawer so this is my biggest set of pliers, and these are pretty huge, humongous, and these can go to about 4.5 inches. I mean, you can get an idea, they are pretty big, and I find those to be very good. You know, if you've got a big plastic pipe and you're trying to get it off, or even a down pipe for a house, if you're trying to wiggle it off, those can actually get a good grip on it to get it apart. Quite useful. And then I've got the smaller brother, which I've used probably a fair bit more and a bit more grubbier than those, but they are very useful, these, and they really do grip. So do the parallel pliers. These are super clever, and if you've not got one of these, the way that they put even pressure and the way they leverage, the handles don't get too big, so you can hold them, and they don't pinch neither. At the narrowest point, they don't pinch, so you're not going to get any welts. Very, very well made pliers. I think Knipex do the actual best pliers, really. I think they are the world's leading when it comes to pliers, and I really do. They are super quality pliers and pipe wrenches. They are the bee's knees. Snap-on don't do a bad one neither. This is a Snap-on 12-inch pipe wrench made in the USA, which is always a good thing. Support US jobs. So this is very much reminds me of the design what they have for Rigid, which also make excellent pipe wrenches. This is a Snap-on, but it's a rebrand from the Baco design. Most of Snap-on's hand tools now, like pliers and the PWZ pliers, their pump pliers, these ones are all Baco design, because Baco has been going since 1888 when they first started making the PWZ pliers. But these are quite good. The way they slide down, they got like an easy adjust, so you can even do it with one hand, which is cool. I've got some smaller PWZ pliers. These are quite handy little things, and they're really nice. They've got the soft grip, easy to wipe down when you finish the job. I really recommend, if anyone's going to get one thing, to just get a small set of these adjustables. The way they hold in the hand, they do not have any movement, and you can get on some reasonable sized nuts, and they're very, very light as well. And because they're galvanized, they don't rust. You can show them a bit of water and they're not just going to be red rusty the next day, which is fantastic. So they're well worth having a look at. This is a brand I don't know if you have in the US. It's quite a popular brand in the UK. It's called Rothenberger, and they make a lot of plumbing tools, and they're the leading supplier of plumbing fittings and tools. Quite high quality brand, a German brand. This is probably one of my favourite wrenches of all time. This is the Rigid E110, a very, very cool wrench. And I had to actually order this from the US Amazon because there was no suppliers at the time in the UK, but I just wanted one. There was an old plumber from New York, and he did a rundown of all his pipe wrenches, and he said if you're ever going to just buy one pipe wrench, just buy this one, because this one is the most useful. You can get in the most spots, and he was a plumber for 40 years. So if he says it's a good wrench, who am I to disagree? This is the biggest size of that German brand, Rothenberger, which is a very famous brand in Europe. It's a German brand, but this is made in Spain. But this is a high quality brand in the UK. I don't know if they have this one in the US. And then the final one on this one is a PWZ1, which is the Baco 91 on the original design. And Baco have been making these now since 1888, which is quite amazing. 132 years of solid manufacture, and they're still making them for the Snap-on truck to date, and still loved by mechanics all around the world. So that shows you a testament to the design. So that's my pipe wrench drawer. hopefully there was something interesting in there for someone to see. I'll show you another drawer. This is my bit storage. So I just keep, you know, you always end up with these loose ones and loads of little boxes. So I put my sort of lower quality and thingy ones inside here with a bit of foam on these wooden trays. I can obviously take the tray straight out if I need the tray. And I've got some like adapters from SDS to, you know, to ordinary drive, and SDS screws, and just general adapters, you know, from a drill to a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch style sockets to put on the socket. Just useful little things, little mini ones. I don't really like these. They tend to stick off inside the screw, and you end up left with them. So you need to get a lock-in adapter to make sure that when you pull it out, it doesn't leave that inside the screw. I much prefer the longer style, like these Milwaukee ones. I find these to be quite useful and, you know, much better really. So yeah, so this is where I keep my bit storage, just roughly, you know, posi drive, Phillips drive, flathead, you know, Torx in general. I do recommend these. I find these to be really handy, and they don't wear down as much. These little wearer, I mean, they're quite expensive, but sometimes you can get quite good deals on them, and those are my favourite, but I prefer the longer ones, like I said. So that's how I keep my sort of bit storage overflow. I do have a lot of cases with proper sets in, but this is my generic sort of miscellaneous drawer, shall we say. I'll show you one more drawer. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I've already showed my spanner drawer, no, so I'll show. This is my sort of standard adjustable wrenches. There's a few older ones and a few newer ones. What I would really recommend is, if you're going to pick up these backhoe wrenches, there's two types. There's the galvanized ones like this, which obviously got a coating on them, and then they have the standard ones like this. Now these ones, if you show them the water, they'll rust, but the actual galvanized ones, they won't. So I recommend, for I think like a couple of pounds or a couple of dollars more, get the galvanized ones or the plated ones, because those hold up a lot better to the water. And even the actual thumb screw, if you can see, is actually galvanized or plated, and it makes a difference, so they don't rust as bad. So I recommend these. This is quite an unusual one because the jaw turns around, so it can be a flat ordinary adjustable, or it can be like a semi pipe wrench, but this is a cool adjustable. What I would recommend is this one. It's a very cool one because it opens quite wide, but it's only 6 inches long. I mean, if you compare it to this one, and open this as wide as it'll go, this is considerably longer. This is more like a 7 or an 8 inch, but if you compare the actual jaws, it doesn't really compare at all. They don't open even anywhere near as much, and it's much longer. If you take a smaller one, you know, more equivalent size, it's like half capacity. So if you're only going to get one wrench, I would probably go for this shorter one, or I would go for this one, which is the 8 inch, but you can get a little bit of extra capacity on it. Goes up to 38 millimeter. But I'd get the cutaway, because you can fit that a lot better than you can fit the actual full-size wrenches, which can be, you know, incredibly thick and difficult access. So for my money, if I was going to get any wrench, any adjustable wrench or spanner, I would get the thin access ones, ideally chromed, with the shortest handle would be the most useful. I do have some other ones I've picked up off flea markets. This is a Ghidorah brand, which is a German brand, high quality, nice one, which I picked up on a flea market. And I've picked up obviously old backhoes. They're everywhere in Europe. They're a very common one. This is a more unusual one in Europe. This is a Proto, which I picked up recently on the flea market, and I only picked it up for £3 or about $4, and it's a 15-inch Proto, which is a bargain, I think. So yeah, so And what I would say as well is these are obviously the original backhoe design, but they've been taken to a next level, and they have also have the ridges on the inside, unlike the standard backhoe, which are all completely flat. You see that one starting to rust a little bit because it's been shown a little bit of water. So yeah, guys, hopefully you found that kind of interesting. I mean, but you have to admit though, they do put a lovely polish on Snap-on, don't they? I mean, just look at that. Isn't that something, you know? But anyway, thanks if you've managed to get this far through my waffling. Hopefully that was mildly interesting, showing you a few drawers in my toolboxes. I've still got a few more to go, so hopefully you'll find it interesting. Don't forget to leave a comment in the bottom. All right, thanks again. Bye.